What it is, people, my name is Nate, hope you're having a kick-ass day, and lately many YouTube videos as well as entire channels have been getting taken down for false copyright infringement claims, and while YouTube has a system in place to prevent YouTube channels from getting falsely taken down and prevent YouTube videos as well from getting falsely taken down, that system has been severely neglected for far too long, and it's time for change here. It's time to make YouTube great again, so to speak. But let me give you guys a little bit of an example. A few weeks ago, a YouTube channel named I Hate Everything got their entire channel shut down due to a false copyright claim. Apparently what happened is they made a video in which they criticized the movie and even destroyed the movie's disc. Well, the company that holds the copyright to that movie didn't take very kindly to that, and they flagged that video and got it taken down under the excuse of copyright infringement. Now, the problem here is that video was protected by a thing known as fair use. Fair use is a law that basically grants people the permission to use things from a copyright so long as it's in the interests of review or criticism or education or something like that. So long as they're doing that, they had every right to do what they did to that movie disc. But nonetheless, the owners behind that movie's copyright just either weren't aware of this or didn't care enough to do anything, and they got that entire video taken down, and eventually the entire I Hate Everything channel was banned and deleted from YouTube. Now, fortunately for the owners behind this channel, they had amassed a pretty large following already, over a few 100,000 subscribers. So the I Hate Everything channel was able to make some noise. They were able to reach out on Twitter and say, hey guys, what's going on? We got falsely strucken down. And eventually other YouTubers heard of their story, and they made tweets and even videos. And after 3 very long days, YouTube finally reinstated the channel back. Now, there's a problem here. Firstly, it took 3 days for YouTube to get back to them, right? That's 3 days of lost revenue, of lost potential subscriber growth. It's 3 days. That's not good regardless. It might seem like a short amount of time, but nevertheless, when this is your job, 3 days without getting paid is a pretty big problem, right? Imagine going to work for 8 hours, 3 days, and not getting paid for any of them. You'd be pretty pissed off, right? So obviously they had their grievances, but the reason they got their channel back was only because they were able to make enough noise for YouTube to notice this and resolve the issue. If they didn't have that audience, they would be limited to going through YouTube's normal system, which is the broken piece of garbage that we're going to be talking about today. So, let me explain a little more. If there's a channel that doesn't have the size that I Hate Everything did, they wouldn't be able to make noise. They're not going to be able to do anything. If little Timmy and his 200 subscriber channel got taken down for a false copyright claim, they can't make noise. They can't go on Twitter and say, hey guys, we need help. Please email YouTube. Please, other big channels, please tweet about this. They can't do that. They're not big enough. So they have to go through YouTube's normal system they have in place. And let me tell you guys a little bit of a story behind that as well. So, also, a couple of weeks ago, a YouTube channel known as Channel Awesome got their monetization completely disabled on YouTube. Completely gone, nada, zip. Well, this was in the interest of a false copyright claim as well. And they made a video in which they explained their grievances and explained what happened to them. And I'll link that in the description below, but I'm basically going to summarize it for you. So, what happens is one fine sunny afternoon, the YouTube channel owners wake up to an email that states that their monetization has been disabled for every single one of their videos because of a false copyright claim. Now, immediately these people freak out, but rather than take the route I Hate Everything did and go on Twitter, make some noise, reach out to other content creators, instead they say, you know what, no, we're going to take the professional route YouTube already has set up for everybody, right? So they send an email to YouTube, and despite them sending an email and despite YouTube claiming it gets back to you in a single business day, by the time they made this video, which was 3 weeks later, YouTube still hadn't even responded. So that was a pretty big problem. So what they do is they file they dispute the copyright complaint, basically. The copyright complaint. They file a DNCA counterclaim. And every time they try and do this, the system fails. They get a system crash, the servers go down, and they're not able to do anything. Well, eventually, someone is able to get a hold of YouTube after many shenanigans, and they reach out and say, hey, what the hell's wrong with your system? Well, YouTube emails them back with a form bot response. Again, they're not even able to get in touch with a real human being, and that basically says, hey, I'm sorry, our counterclaim system is broken. Use one of these other means they have set up. So they do. They even overnight them a written response, but they're able to get in touch, and they email them through another form in which they're able to, at least able to get in touch with them. And essentially, they email this really long, like, wall of text that dictates why they shouldn't have been getting struck down. They have all the proof they need, and they email them. Only for them to later find out that, we're sorry, your response has to be at least, or at most, 250 characters. That's right, you have to make your entire legal case on fair use in the size of a Twitter tweet, or else YouTube doesn't care, because apparently, despite YouTube being the most, despite Google, the owners of YouTube, being the most valuable company on planet Earth, they don't have the time for anybody to have to read anything longer than a mother trucking tweet, and that is ridiculous. And, anyway, I'm not exactly sure what happened to this YouTube channel. Eventually, they got so fed up with YouTube's system, though, that they resorted to making noise. They made a YouTube video, they made some Twitter tweets, and a lot of people have heard of their story. So I'm not sure where they're at now, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were able to make enough noise for YouTube to get a hold of them and fix this situation. I'm not sure what's happened there, but nonetheless, this is a pretty big problem, right? Because if that metaphorical small YouTube channel gets struck down for false copyright claim, and they're not able to make noise, they have to go through that broken system YouTube has pre-established. And that's just not okay. It's ridiculous. All these small channels that don't have it in their capacity to rally support behind them, to get noise made and be heard, they're left in the dust. Sorry, bro, your channel's gone. If this happened to little Timmy with 200 subs, one of his videos got falsely taken down for copyright, and his channel gets deleted, that's it. He's done. There's nothing he can do because YouTube's system is too broken to handle. And the reason being is probably because it's automated. They don't have actual real human beings going over this. And when they finally do, they can't be bothered to read anything longer than a Twitter tweet. So there's a solution behind this, right? It's obvious. Hire real people to take up this problem. Hire real people to actually go through these legal documents. Make it someone's job. Don't just have Gary from marketing occasionally glance over at Twitter tweets in an effort to determine whether or not a video is infringing upon fair use. And that is what they need to do. But regardless, this solution, I'm not the first one to propose it. It's been proposed numerous times, but the fact is YouTube has failed to react upon it. YouTube's done literally nothing about their broken system but leave it there. And the reason they're able to do this is that YouTube has zero competition. There are no websites a creator is going to go to after YouTube, right? What's going to happen? No one's going to go to Dailymotion or something. And while it could be argued Facebook is making a play at the video industry, they're still many years behind YouTube. They are not at the level YouTube is at now. And even then, it's ridiculous. What was I going to say? I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought there. But even then, if you go through Facebook's route, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure they either don't pay you at all, or you get paid a very small amount compared to YouTube. So people are left kind of with no options. You are trapped in YouTube and its ridiculously broken system no matter what. There is no alternative to this. And that's what gives Google the ability to do this. Because if there were competition, Google would be on top of this, baby. They would be doing everything they could to keep their content creators there. But since there is no there is no competition, they're able to mistreat their content creators like this. The people that make them money on one of their most profitable websites are being neglected for no reason at all. It's ridiculous. YouTube, as I just said, they recently surpassed Apple, most valuable company on earth, but they can't be bothered to hire real people to look at these problems. And something needs to be done, because one of the arguments that you could make is say, well, maybe the community should make noise about this, right? Maybe they should do something. Well, the community is making noise. You could argue they're making as much noise as possible. I made a video about this a couple days ago. The Fine Brothers, they uploaded a React Around the World video in which they basically said they were trademarking the term React. And the community went batshit crazy over this. It became almost a trend to unsubscribe from the Fine Brothers. And the reason behind this was the community is so fed up with YouTube's bullshit and their bullshit copyright system. And that said, I can still understand why YouTube does have a copyright system like this. I can understand why they allow, like, various companies to just take down a YouTube video like that. And that's because YouTube it's still responsible for the videos on the website. Despite Google not making every single video, they're responsible for what's on their website. They're responsible to make sure all these videos are abiding by the law, they're not infringing upon copyright and what have you. And as a result, they give these companies the power to take down videos for copyright infringement, despite that not always being the case. Because YouTube and Google don't want to get sued. Because if they don't do this, if they don't give these companies that power, they technically could make a legal case against Google saying, hey, they're infringing on our copyright. And Google doesn't want that to happen. So they allow these big companies to take down various videos for copyright infringement, despite that not being what they're doing. And I definitely don't want them to take that power away from these companies, because again, then Google itself could get sued in that regard, and that wouldn't be good for anybody. But they should at least have someone to support the content creators. They should have a real human being that makes sure if a video gets struck down for copyright infringement, it's with good reason. It's not a false copyright stream. If a video gets taken down, it's justified. And when a video gets unjustifiably taken down, it is reinstated back on YouTube later. They need to have somebody that looks over this and make sure that doesn't happen. But nevertheless, I guess Google can't be bothered to do anything about their brokenness. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed. Like if you liked, dislike if you disliked. Oh my god, it's been 10 minutes already. Wow. This video, this was one of my unscripted videos where I didn't really have a script. I just kind of went off notes. And hopefully this one did good. I'm not sure. Please let me know how I did in the comments below. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like if you liked, dislike if you disliked. Hope to see you in the next video. Peace, guys. Bye-bye.